Hello. Hello. Hello, everybody. It is me, Chaff Commander Coffee, and we are here today. Oh, not to have the stream running with sound in the background. On a bit earlier than I said I would be, so might not see anybody on the channel just yet. But that's fine, because we have, well, we are going to be playing some Realism Invictus. That's right, some Civilization 4 Realism Invictus, as you can see here. Fingers crossed. Now I know there's going to be some delay before. Oh, we're on. Oh, we're live on Twitch. Okay, all good. All good. Rightio. Yeah, as I said to you guys, I am going to be playing Realism Invictus, and I've already set up the settings. We have a custom game here. I've got to double check that the settings are actually okay, because it's reset them since I did the thingy. No, I don't want tectonics. Where is it? Terra. There we go. Terra. Standard. 12 civs. There we go. Sea level low. Everything else fine. Let's go through these. Oh. Oh, I love the music track for Realism Invictus. Great. Let's see. Yep, everything looks good there. And finally, our Civ we're playing today has actually been picked out by you guys. Let's see, where is he? Napoleon the First. Conqueror, charismatic, megalomaniac. I'll talk about that more when we get in the game, but I'm just going to take a moment. Just take a quick moment. Oh, we have a viewer. We have a viewer. Hello, person in the chat. How's it going? Oh, apparently Civ is considered an educational game by Twitch's tags. Civ 4 is. I approve. Because we are about to be schooled by Realism Invictus's AI for a start, and then on top of that, the Raging Barbarians. Because, oh god, kill me now. Right. Oh yeah, and the victories. Conquest, Cultural, Space Race. Since we're playing with AI plays to win, the AI knows that these are the only ways to win. So they will try to focus on, depending on their leader and the circumstances of the map, they will focus on these particular victory conditions. Some civs will prefer a more scientific approach, others will prefer more wonders and cultural expansion, and others will prefer conquest. In our case, off the top of my head, Conqueror is good for warfare, Charismatic is good for domination cross warfare. I think it also has some help with diplomatic, but yeah, it's more of a warfare trait. And then Megalomaniac means we build wonders slower, I think, off the top of my head. So probably not going to go for many wonders. Not that we're likely to get many wonders anyway, because on Emperor difficulty the AI, well, their bonus to production and research just means that they're much more likely to get those key wonders before you even get a chance to see them. But we won't worry too much about that. Let's start the game, I guess. Oh, I should probably rename myself. There we go. Just for posterity's sake. Right. Realism Invictus. Show me what you've got. Let's see what this map looks like. Not that I regenerate the map. We have no map regeneration here, my friends. No. We get what we're given, and we are thankful for it. If the map gives us a peninsula with iron and coal and sulfur and a ton of food resources and, you know, like stone or marble, we are thankful for it. And a bunch of choke points to keep barbs off. We like that. if the map gives us a wide, arid plain with few defensible locations and not even access to horses, we take it. That's what we get. So, let's start off, shall we? I want to move the screen around a bit there. Yeah, I've sort of not minimized the screen, but I've windowed my Civ so I can have the chat open. So I can chat with all you guys whilst I'm playing. Wow, I actually have people to talk to whilst I'm playing Civ. No longer the single player experience we're all used to. Anyway, let's take a look at France. So this is by request of a viewer on the channel. I can't remember exactly the name of who it was. I'm not going to look it up right now because I want to get into the game. Mind you, we are a little early starting, but still. So, France. Yeah, Conqueror, Charismatic, Megalomaniac. Let us take a look in the Civlo. If I can remember where the Civlo button is. I think I need to actually start. Yeah, there we go. Civlo. Civlopedia. Society and French Empire. So, quite a few leaders for the French. But let's just go over the one that we are playing, which will be Napoleon the I here. With those laurels. What an arrogant man. Anyway, sorry, some of my French viewers might be like, oh, that's a bit BM, but come on, he thought he could take over the world. Like, anyone that thinks they can do that is pretty arrogant. Like, can't deny that. Anyway, we have Conqueror. Gives you charge-mounted, armoured, and armoured units being like tanks and things, and range-mounted units get extra experience. That is a free level up on our cavalry in the early game, which is pretty good. Enables Chevalier Banneret, which I believe, if I'm not mistaken, is the mounted knights, which are, I don't know if I can see them right here. That's a dragoon. Here we go. Chevalier Banneret normally requires you, along with the actual standard Banneret, requires you to be feudal aristocracy as your civic. You have to be monarchy feudal aristocracy to train the foot knights and the knights. However, Conqueror allows you to train knights without the civics. So we could be any civic we like and we can train these massively overpowered shock cavalry in the medieval period. So it's probably worth keeping that in mind if we want to go for that early. If we have access to horses and iron, definitely something we want to keep an eye out for, because knights are pretty good. They are pretty good. Not good at taking cities, but they're great at smashing armies. That's what you want them for. Anyway, we also have a free promotion of siege bombardment for siege weapons, which helps them break down city defences, which is very nice. We get a +2 to our rural logistics, so our armies outside of our cities can be larger before taking penalties, which is probably the most powerful trait in the early game for Conqueror-based civs. If you're playing warfare, you want logistics, otherwise you can't stack as many troops in a tile, and the bonuses of being able to stack more troops in a tile isn't just that you don't take the penalties as quickly, it's also that because you have more strength on the troops that provide aid bonuses, the aid bonuses are higher. So if I have 2 extra archers in the stack than I normally would, my aid bonus for archery is higher than it normally would be. So logistics is mad. That is probably the best bonus in Conqueror, in my opinion. We have 50% faster production of, I know it keeps flickering on and off, that's just how it works. 50% faster production of siege workshops, stables, large stables, and armament industries. So very big on the cavalry again, and siege weapons, which I am a-okay with. And 25% faster production of the Ministry of Defence, which is one of the just national buildings you can do. It's alright, but we won't need that until much later. Okay, and then we have Charismatic, +1 to diplomatic relations, very nice for keeping certain civs off your back. If you can keep them friendly with you, they won't declare war on you. And sometimes +1 diplo relations is all you need to make somebody else seem like more of a target than you. We get 25% reduced XP cost for unit promotions, which on top of Conqueror means our cavalry only need 4 experience to hit rank 2, which we can't quite get with just our Conqueror trait, but to get rank 3 they need less experience as well. So getting rank 3 cavalry is much simpler for us, which is quite powerful. And then we get a +1 happiness from monuments, city squares and broadcast towers. That is very relevant, especially on a higher difficulty where happiness doesn't tend to come into the game via luxury resources until a bit later on. So, two very good traits that work together very well. However, we do have a negative trait, and it is Megalomaniac. We get a -20% wonder production. Our wonders take forever to build. 20% is no joke. Wonders already take the longest time of any other building in the game to build, in many cases. And that 20% increase to their production time is going to mean that we're going to have to dedicate a hell of a lot of resources to build wonders. We're not even going to try and build wonders that we don't have the speed bonus from resources to build, because it would just be impossible. We'd be wasting our production by doing that. Alright, aside from that, we have our unique improvement, which is a terroir. Is that a terroir? I don't speak French. As you may have guessed, I am a native English speaker, and thus my French is limited. But we get a unique vineyard, effectively. It provides a +1 happiness bonus in nearby cities. Now, if you compare this to a standard vineyard, so if we look at a potter's workshop, this should enable wineries. So standard winery gives a +2 food, +1 coin to the wine tile. Wine is a very good resource early on in the game, mind you. You get one extra food with biology and agronomy stations, and +1 commerce with pharmacy and botany, stock market, monastic order, theatre of Dionysus. Oh dear. Oh, sneeze there. And import tariffs. However, because we are France, we get +2 commerce and +2 food, and a +1 happiness in nearby cities. So the extra commerce is nice. It's nothing to sniff up at. You know, you can't turn down extra commerce. But the +1 happiness turns our tile improvements into luxury resources, which normally we'd have to build a tavern to generate bonus happiness from wine. This just gives us bonus happiness, and we can get extra from the tavern as well. So wine is certainly a resource we want to look out for. However, if we don't have access to wine, that's not a problem, because we are a nation with a particular arable resource. We get to cultivate it. So we can get grape cultivation, which requires Kernizem fertile soil, which is a particular type. There's two types of fertile soil. There's andesol and Kernizem. Kernizem is the one that's on grassland, I want to say, and andesol's on plains. And once we have pharmacy and botany, which is a tech that boosts wineries anyway, and also food crops, plantations, and that sort of thing, we can cultivate our own grapes. Whether we actually have access to it or not, we can just do it. So we will have access to wine as a luxury resource at some point in the game, which is good. It is definitely a handy resource to have. And taverns are not the best luxury building to build, but they do give you extra espionage, which I do like to keep at a reasonable level. Not really to deal with enemy spies, but more to deal to be able to see military rankings between the different civs. Right, then we have our unique units. We have the Foreign Legion, which is a gunpowder unit. Requires breech-loaded rifles and firearms, which is a little bit later in the game, quite a fair bit, but they have well, most gunpowder units tend to have 150% versus melee. The French Foreign Legion, it receives the free promotions of Led by Warlord and March, which is pretty damn good. Led by Warlord gives the units, oh, it's not going to let me check that, is it? It gives them a extra, I think it means they can take Warlord promotions, so they can take things like leadership and morale, and you know, normally you can only get those promotions if you're led by a Great General. I think these guys can take those promotions anyway, and March is just a very good promotion regardless. They can heal whilst moving, so it keeps, you can have very strong offense or, you know, take a fight and then pull back, and that's fine. They're good at attacking cities and in-placed artillery, as well as just a standard bonus attack versus gunpowder units, so they can outshoot most people, which is pretty cool. Then we get the Carolingian Paladins, which requires feudal contract, stirrup, and armor crafting. So they're sort of just before the bannerets, which are the true knights. These guys are like early knights. They have 8 strength, which makes them more powerful than the other charge-mounted cavalry of the time period. They have inspiration. They cause collateral damage, just a lot higher percentage than most normal charge cavalry. They have a bonus attack versus other charge-mounted melee units, and specifically Mujahids, which is pretty interesting. They target any charge-mounted units first in combat outside cities, so these guys hunt enemy cavalry, which can be quite good. If you've got a strong defensive army, you can just use these guys to hit your opponent's stack, take their charge cavalry out, and thus they are able to effectively defend your stack from getting collateral damaged by charge cavalry, which is pretty good. They have free promotion of combat and flanking. Flanking gives them a extra bonus withdrawal chance, and combat just gives them 10% more strength. Pretty solid units. They're quite heavy on the requirements, like you need feudal contract, stirrup, and armor crafting to get them. But pretty good units, and you're allowed 6 of them, so which is quite nice. I do like them. So pretty decent unique units. It's nice that we get a mix of which eras we get them in. This is sort of like pre-medieval or like early medieval Carolingian Paladins, and then the Foreign Legion is sort of like the end of the gunpowder age, which makes they're quite relevant. Not the end of gunpowder as a you know, but before modern military becomes a thing with, like, you know, armored vehicles and that sort of thing. Foreign Legion is still relevant, and in fact it just overpowers most of the gunpowder units. So got 2 sort of stages of the game that were quite powerful in, and then we've got our unique buildings. We have the Nemesis, which is the sort of pagan Celtic style one. It's okay. It provides extra food, which is fine. And it heals units an extra 10% damage, which is not normally that relevant. But the extra food is fine, and it does give culture, so it's not the worst thing in the world. It's not one of the better pagan temples, but it's alright. So, not the worst, not the better. Probably won't build too many of them, but there you go. Then we have the Salon, which is an observatory. Now observe the observatory. So we've got, they cost exactly the same. Observatories give 15% tech, and they turn 1 citizen into a scientist. The Salon gives 20% bonus tech and a free artist. Ooh, spicy. Artists giving both a small amount of science and a decent amount of culture. And also, since artists have been buffed in Realism Invictus due to the ability to build great works of art, which effectively give nationwide bonuses to particular buildings or civics and that sort of thing. Yeah, pretty good. I do like. I'm always happy to get a civ with extra science on one of their unique buildings, as you can imagine. And astrology is one of those techs that we're going to want if we want to have a... If we're coastal, we definitely want astrology. It's going to give us some naval power and some colonization options. So, that is the civ. This is France. And, yeah, that's what we're going to be playing. So let's get to it. Right. So, if I have to do a retry, I will do a retry. What's the time now? Oh, it's only just gone 11 o'clock. I'm an hour early and I've been rambling for ages already. Just about game setup. Which I know the video on YouTube was about game setup. That was more the settings as opposed to the actual core stuff regarding the civilization. Oh dear. Ugh. I haven't got a cold. I just feel a bit sneezy today, which is a little odd. But there you go. Right, let's take a look at our starting position. this is dank. This is probably one of the best starting positions you could get. Why is that, you might ask? Well, 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 good sirs and madams. We have 2 cattle and a sheep. So we have 3, not 2, 3 pastoral nomadism resources, which is bonkers on your cap spot, because your capital will get some bonus happiness as just a thing because it's your capital, and it will be able to grow really fat. But pastoral nomadism also gives said tiles more production, which is also very good. We also have an inland, we have like a little lake here, which does count as fresh water, thus the city will get freshwater bonus. I see no reason to move. Parry. Okay. So, first thing we want to do. Now, on Emperor, you tend to want to build troops, because you're going to get attacked by barbarians very quickly. However, we are a mad lad, and we are going to open with a worker, because, as I said, I'm going to play a little bit more risky. And you kind of have to get results on Emperor difficulty. So we are going to open with a worker because we want to get pastoral nomadism online as quickly as humanly possible. And we're just going to send this worker, this warrior out here to do a bit of scouting. We found some horses, it's great. And we're just going to make a wide circle around our lands. And we meet our first civ already. Carthage. Not a civ I wanted to see straight at the start of the game. And the Incans, which is less of a problem. But Carthage did not want to see Carthage. Carthage is an absolute powerhouse in the early game. They have very, very strong units. They get strength 4 units at woodworking, which is just nuts. And there's Qin Shi Huang of the Chinese Empire. As you can see, this is what the Emperor AI starts with. Start with double archers, a scout, and a worker. I do not believe they start with an extra settler, because that would just be a little bit too much. But it's certainly a difficult prospect for us to deal with nations that are going to have that worker production sort of bonus early on in the game. However, they are quite close to us, which means the barbarians might leave us alone if we're lucky. Hopefully. Oh wow, we beat those double wolves. Well, let's grab land tactics, because then we can upgrade these guys with pacification, which helps us deal with barbs. We might see some revolutions in this game as well, which would be pretty interesting. We are not going to take pastoral nomadism just yet, because it makes it more difficult to build tile improvements. As you can see here, tile improvements are 25% slower, or workers build improvements 25% slower. So you want to get those pastures up first, and then swap to it. And then we're going to go straight for woodworking. Okay, and we're just going to build warriors as much as possible. We will grab the cows first, because they're awesome. And hopefully we don't get attacked by any barbarians whilst we're doing this. I think barbarians will start to pop up around turn... Ooh, difficult to say. Probably around turn 50, I think that's when the barbarians start appearing, so we should be able to get at least a warrior or two, and hopefully some spearmen. We've got Carthage quite close to us, which is nice, because hopefully the barbarians will focus on going after them. However, the north tends to be completely unpopulated by civs in the early game, which means we're very likely to have issues with barbarians coming from the north, so that's where we want to place our first sort of warrior to keep them under control. Let's get Frankish militia, and I think we want to keep this guy probably on this hill, just to fog bust. Fog busting will make it so there's less barbarians, marginally so, but there will be less. So we're going to keep this warrior on that hill, and we want to go for the sheep. Now I want to go for the cows. Cows give extra production, which is fantastic. Because Carthage's borders are around here, they will fog bust that naturally. So that's the plan. And there's a polar bear, which don't think we can actually beat that, so we're going to pull back just quickly. And we're going to just wait there for a couple of turns. Right, Paris is up to size 2. And we want to just be building militia for the most part, just a crap ton of militia. We definitely want open borders with people, but we also want bronze working, so that's sort of what we're going with our early techs. Try get some open borders with some nations to get some tech diffusion from them, and yeah. We found silver up here, which is pretty cool. We didn't find any copper by the looks of it, which is fine. We don't necessarily need copper to begin with. We're just going to go with more Frankish militia. We're just going to need loads of these guys, to be honest. Both to keep the barbs away from us, but also to protect our tile improvements. Once we've got the second cattle up, then we will swap to pastoral nomadism. Okay, and here come the barbs. So we're going to have to move this militia out onto the cattle pasture. Now they do have a bonus versus barbarian archers, so we should be able to deal with them. Should be able to, being the key word. But we might have to also pull back, which would mean that we lose one of our pastures. Let's see if... I don't want to keep them here in case the barbarians attack them, so we're going to have to pull back. And we're probably going to lose our pasture here. We might lose our city, but this is what I mean about you have to play a little dangerously. Yeah, we're dead. That's game 1. Did we even manage to kill 2? We didn't even manage to kill 2. On to game 2. And you might be thinking, oh, you should have went for woodworking sooner, or oh, you should have done X, Y, or Z. Possibly. But at the end of the day, as I said, you have to play a little dangerously to get that early lead. And if you don't do that, you're just going to fall behind massively. So, never mind, 8. On to game 2. Oh crap, I forgot to pick Napoleon. Napoleon the First. 3 more civs. Yeah, spawning that close to the Arctic part of the map is not so fun. Since the Arctic will just be full of barbarians because nobody lives there. That can be a problem. That was a very nice start. It's a shame to lose out like... Oh my god! What? What? Okay. We're going to try this again. Open with a worker. Did we just get possibly one of the best capital starts I've ever seen in Realism Invictus? I think we did. Same thing again. Except now we're working on this citrus, which is giving us some extra commerce, which means that we get our tech a couple of turns faster. Oh boy, is this the run? Is this the run? It's only attempt number 2. We shall see. Hello everybody in the chat as well. I see there's some more people coming in now, ready to watch some Civ. I hope you're excited to see what Realism Invictus is like if you've never played it before. It's an excellent mod. Oh, look, it's Abraham Lincoln. Hello. Not too worried about the Americas very early on there. They're not so much of a threat. Okay, warriors managed to kill some wolves. It's all well and good. Okay, let's just keep circling around our civ. And we're coastal as well. Like, oh. It's just a really filthy start position. I'm a big fan. And we even got a floodplain river over here as well. Looks like we do have a desert, which is a little bit more awkward. Okay, so there's the Dravidians. Dravidians tend to be quite happy for trade, which is nice. And America tends to be fairly friendly as well, for the most part. So, oh, and our warrior got killed by a cheetah, so no more scouting for us. Okay, let's just end some turns then. And get our worker out and go for a warrior. We're going to grab the cattle first. Again, they give more production, so that's what we want. And we've got tool making. And there's the Vikings. We will swap over to a production focus. Mind you, they'll all automatically be working on the best tiles. There's Carthaginians again. So Carthage, very powerful early nation. Same with Egypt. And there's the Arabians. Okay, so it's finding a lot of nations already. Hopefully they will leave us more or less alone. We're going to put one turn of production into a smokehouse and then just start building troops. This warrior is going to go out and scout because I need to scout. Right. Early metal working. Let's go grab these cows and we will go over to production and start spitting out infinite Frankish militia. Let's put out like 5 to start with. Now we could swap over to pastoral nomadism straight away. Don't think that's the best thing we could do. There's some prime timber there, which is perfect. If we're going to go naval, which we most certainly will. There's the Egyptians as well. So we've got Egypt and Carthage on the map, and they are both very powerful early game civilizations. Okay, so we've got early metal working. Now I'm going to go for writing and then bronze working. Okay, and we're just going to nip across here just to explore this part of the deserty section of the map. There's a little strip of slightly more fertile land. And there's the English, led by Alfred the Mediocre. And we're just going to plop our warrior right here. We could get Barbs spawn over here. We don't actually know where any of the other civs are. I think I'm going to bring the warrior back as a defender rather than try and fog bust. Oh, Ethiopia. I love Ethiopia. Ethiopia is always super friendly. Okay, and we've got tons of stone around. Potentially a good city spot up here. Though in the middle of the desert means it's not going to have a huge deal of production. Right. Let's go and we're going to work on the sheep first. We're going to sit this warrior over on this side of the river. And we are going to swap over to pastoral nomadism now. We have a turn of revolution. Oh, look at that production. Oh, militia in 4 turns. Oof. Oof, the power is real. Okay, so we are going to have barbarians start spawning pretty soon. Hopefully they just ignore us, which is a possibility. We do have a savage archer over this way, so we're going to move another spearman in that direction. Open borders, yes, yes, give me your open borders. Oh, we could attack the archer there. We'd most likely win that, but we'll just fortify. And he does kill the warrior, but that's fine because now we can just move in and okay, maybe not. Now we'll just wait, and we'll get the warrior on the city to attack. It seems a little odd to do that, but oh, and the Polish. We're going to give this guy pacification as well. We're basically going to give all of our militia. We're going to get pacification. Ideally, we want 2 spearmen on every resource tile. We are going to move this guy back quickly and move this worker down here to build a path. And you will fortify. And the barbarian moves away because they don't like attacking cities with 2 people in them. Which is a reason you actually need to have just 1 defender in your city, because otherwise the barbarians build up this giant horde around you, and that is not fun to have to deal with. Worker, you need to go back up here and start building that pasture again. And we have writing. Okay, let's see if we can get some more open borders with people. The English, open borders. Egypt, no, they won't open borders. Ethiopia, open borders. Spanish, wow, the Spanish like us as well. That's a new thing. Spanish tend not to want to open borders. Guess that charismatic is really paying off. And open borders. And open borders. So we've got open borders in most of the civs in the game. Let's just take a look at our tech diffusion, because I would like to research things quickly as opposed to maybe rush. 180% tech transfer for archery is pretty good. I think 180% tech transfer is the most we're going to get with the civs that we know. So we will pick up... Do we need agriculture is the question. What's our epidemic chance currently? 2%. Okay, so we probably do need agriculture just to try and keep that epidemic chance as low as possible. And archery is nice to give us walls, but I'd probably go for bronze working after that, but we'll see what the AI has picked up in that time. Okay, managed to beat off a barbarian there. We're going to carry on building that pasture. And somebody else is willing to open borders too. Oh, it's Egypt. Okay, well, we should have 200% tech now. Now, I don't want this worker to die, so I am going to move... Oh, I should be building more militia. Stop building the smokehouse. We don't need that. We need militia. 200% tech for archery is just dank, so we'll do that. We could move out and attack those warriors, but there's not much point. We'll just let them attack the city and power up our main capital defender. We are going to have to move troops down to this pasture to stop these barbarians from burning it down, and they win, which is excellent. We do want to get those horses, but not just yet. We can afford to just hunker down for the time being. Okay, we got another militia. What do we get best tech transfer on? If we don't get amazing tech transfer on anything in particular, I'm not too bothered about any of those, so we will go for bronze working. I'm going to move the worker, because I'd rather he didn't get killed. This new warrior is going to move onto the workers tile. We're going to let 2 barbarians attack the city. And we lost our militia there, that's fine. Swing back, kill that barbarian. The paths aren't super useful for now, but we will build them just in case we lose a pasture to barbarians. And we're just going to have to keep building them, to be honest. Okay, we do have one of the Indians' militia out on this tile. We're going to put our unit there as well. See if we can encourage the barbarians to attack there. We will attack the barbarians there. A 90% is worth taking because on the attack we'll get more experience. Okay, so a militia killed barbarian primitives. We will keep that guy right there. Level you up with land tactics and put you on to fortify until you're healed up. Primitives, we'll take that attack, and we got a great general. We're going to take fierce warriors, which gives all of our melee units an extra 10%, I believe. Combat strength, the ones that we train now. Yeah, an extra 10% combat strength, which is just fantastic. That's exactly what we need. And we're going to move to the horses now and start building them up. And we will put 2 warriors, or 2 militia on that spot. You can heal up. And we're going to put 2 on this pasture since it's further away from the capital. And we're going to pop this militia up on this hill here. I'm starting to think about where we want to put our next city. It's hard to know exactly where we want them. Okay, so we can go for despotism now. Let's give military unit production. I'm going to hold off on it for now because I just want to see what I want to do for my tech. Okay, let's grab... Not too bothered by storytelling. Storyteller circles can be really useful for that early tech bonus, which we will want. I think after this militia, we can probably stop producing them, get that smokehouse done to keep our epidemic chance down, and we'll probably want a granary after that. And we're going to have to start sending scouts, not so much. Okay, so we did lose a warrior there. You will lose some militia, and that's just something you have to live with. Okay, France has become, or Paris has become unhappy. That's fine, we'll just turn it off. Avoid unhappiness. So their growth is now restrained. We will grab mob justice, since that will give us, and we'll get that before the smokehouse, it's more important. And we want animism? I don't believe so. Are we going to build? That's the thing that you got to think. Are we actually going to build the cults? If we go despotism, we could build imperial cults, but we do need our pagan temples to do that. I don't know if we care enough about that, so maybe we'll just go for animism and despotism. It is 2 turns of revolution, though. You know, we'll not have either for now. Worry about swapping over later. Horseback riding would be pretty dank, actually. We could actually train horsemen, which would be our best way to deal with barbarians early on in the game. Could also give us some early aggression options. Sailing wouldn't be that bad either. We could get a ship out to start exploring. I think we're going to go sailing. Possibly architecture or trade. But we'll go for sailing first. And we've got mob justice, which will give us some more happiness. Let's keep on building that horse pasture. Okay, pacification. We don't necessarily need a Frankish archer. The granary would help keep the... But Storyteller Circle is science. You do need... keep on building that. So we've got a Savage Archer here, which shouldn't be able to beat them. In our cap, we've got 2 Frankish militia, which ideally we don't actually want 2 Frankish militia in our capital, but since if they're attacking over a river, it's a Savage and a Savage Archer, both are wounded, so I think we can afford to move our militia out and have this guy just defending by himself. He should be fine. Yeah, he managed to beat all 3 of them. Again, risky, because he was fighting 3 units at once, but it was a risk worth taking. Again, you have to allow your city to be attacked by the barbarians, because otherwise the barbarians will just continuously build up around your borders until there's like 20 of them, and then just attack your city with that, and you won't be able to beat them. And you'll also get no improvements. You'll never have any improvements, because they'll just keep burning them down. Okay, so Abraham Lincoln adopts Republic. Right, we're not the worst civ. Again, the barbarians are going to keep everybody in check, not just us. Let's finish the Storyteller Circle, and I think we will grab that granary, because we need to keep epidemic chance down, if possible. We will connect up some horses, which is fantastic. And we are just focused entirely on production right now, which is ideal. And the barbarians are just going to keep running at our militia, and he's going to keep getting stronger and stronger and stronger. We will just give him city garrison instead of combat, since he is going to be sat in Paris for probably the rest of the game. I see no reason to move him. Okay, we have just got access to horses, and our worker has not got much to do right now. Architecture would be ideal, so we can get some cottages down. Paris cannot grow anymore. It's got the health, so that's good, but we do need to get rid of that final bit of epidemic chance. We'll still have a 0.5% chance of epidemic happening, but that is something we can probably live with for the time being. We would grab we can get chariots, which are an alternative to going for early horsemen. I'm not too bothered by grabbing chariots right now, so a potter's workshop's probably worth building. We'll get a potter's workshop on the build. It will get rid of that final chance of epidemic and also give us some more money. Sailing is finished, and I will pop out a... Ooh, let's see. Let's grab mysticism since it's very cheap. We want to make use of that tech diffusion from the AI. We'll grab a ship first. Oh, actually, we'll grab 2, so we can send 1 down each coastline. Okay, the worker is in a bit of a dangerous spot here. I could move him over here. He could potentially build a mine, but it's nothing we really care about. Farms are actually negative for us because we have pastoral nomadism. So I'm just going to move the worker back to the city, because if the city falls, we lose the game anyway. So we'll grab city garrison 2. So this guy basically has 50% defense based on, he's got 57% versus barbs and 43% city defense. So he has 100% strength against barbarians attacking Paris. He gets a further 25% from hill, 25% from fortification, 25% from cultural defense in the city as well, and a further 10% from against land units. So he's effectively like a strength 9 unit protecting Paris. So we should never lose Paris. Against barbarians anyway, which is good. That's exactly what we want. Here is a curious choice. I think we want architecture so we can build cottages. I won't auto-explore, I'll explore manually in case we see any islands, which I would like to check out. Okay, so we're quite close to the edge of the map, which is not a great thing. I can see the tundra, so I knew we were going to be close to it, but yeah, looks like we're very, very close to it. This ship, I think I'm just going to leave in our borders along the coastline, just so it's not, we're not paying so much maintenance for it. Yeah, can't see any islands there. Okay, there's architecture done, and now I think we want to grab, I think we do want horseback riding so we can get Frankish cavalry. Okay, so our ships can no longer do any more exploring. We're just going to delete them. I don't want to pay the maintenance for them. That's kind of awkward that we got blocked off by ice in both respects, but that's something you just got to live with. Okay, so we can start thinking about expanding. As you can see, the barbarians are starting to get rams and spearmen, which is fine for the most part, but we're going to have to think about... Oh, and the AI started to start their wars. Now, we're actually still fairly powerful compared to the rest of the AI. We have more or less their strength value, and we're not close to any AI that I think are likely to turn on us. That is Spain or Egypt or the Dravidians. I don't know which colour borders they are. I think that's Spain. Now, we could go for an early war with Spain and try and take their cap circle and then just expand down this coastline. Not a bad choice. Grabbing this wood and this marble might be useful. The rest of the locations around our capital are not that great. They're honestly not that great. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a couple of short swords and send them out in this direction. And we got another great general. I'm tempted to keep him around to great general. But great generals, when you don't have a particularly large tech advantage, aren't that useful. And skirmisher warriors are nice, but not necessary. I think I'm going to hold him off until we get horseback riding and then grab famous horsemen. I think that's going to be the best option. So we're going to start building an army up right here. And we could attack these archers. It's worth doing to get the experience, if nothing else. And we're going to give this guy, we're going to give him City Raider in case we do decide to go to war with whichever nation that is down there. We do have the Conqueror trait, so it's worth considering that. The Egyptians are a threat to us all. I'm going to decline since England doesn't seem to be doing very well. And I'm fine letting England get beaten up by other stronger nations for now. We are going to need rams if we want to go to war with a neighbour. Let's grab a couple of rams. We want probably 2 stacks. 2 surprise stacks are normally enough to deal with most nations. We get the siege bombardment as well, which will help knock down their city defences very quickly. We can have a total of 7 units in a stack. So we're going to want an archer in there for ranged aid, which gives our units some extra first strikes, as far as I'm aware. Or as far as I can remember, anyway. Okay, so since we popped an archer, those barbarians didn't want to attack. Do we have architecture yet? We do. We could actually just build some cottages. Might as well. Okay, so we can get a couple more units in that stack. Units currently have Assault Aid 2, Ranged Aid 1. Oh yeah, you need like Ranged Aid 2 to get the first strike. Might need to put another archer in that stack. Do they have Siege Aid now? They do have Siege Aid, extra first strike chance and city attack. Okay. We could put another archer in the stack, but I think I'm going to just have the archer there as a defensive unit rather than an assault unit in the stack. And then we're going to want... I could also get mobility aid by adding a chariot, but they're not very good at attacking cities, so you generally want infantry stacks to deal with cities. So the stack contains 4 swordsmen, an archer, and double ram. And we could overstack it a little bit since it's only 5% strength, and the extra aid would probably make more of a difference. So maybe we overstack it by a couple of units. We could get recon aid. I don't think 1 scout's going to be enough to give them recon aid. So maybe once we finish horseback riding, we'll grab some more. Yes, we are bleeding money. I'm very well aware of this. But that's fine. Okay, so this is the Dravidians. It's got to be the Dravidians. If they're sending a great general, I don't know why they're sending a great general this way, but such is the mysteries of life. Okay, you can wait there. You can fortify, and I think we're just going to have to move with these units and call that a stack. We will move the last unit in there as well, and we won't train any more right now. Let's grab a river dock because that's going to give us an extra trade route, which we are currently... We're not trading with anyone. Okay. It's probably because we can't see anyone's cities. So instead, what do we want? Warehouse does give us extra production. Epidemic chance is not a threat to us right now. I think we're going to go with the carpenters and the warehouse, just give us some extra production. And I know I've totally gimped my research, that's fine. I know we're 1 point over the stack as well, but that's also fine. Let's march. We are probably going to start running out of money. Okay, yeah, we're not making any money. So we're going to burn down the Dravidians. Or possibly capture their cap circle, depends on what I'm feeling like. We will grab... Weaver shop's actually very relevant. We have sheep, so it's going to get an extra commerce bonus for the capital, which is good. Going for the Maui statues might be worth it as well, simply because it's something that the AI tends to ignore for the most part. There's copper down here, okay. Yeah, and that is the Dravidians. Okay, how many cities are the Dravidians on? We don't know. But, okay, that's a city we can just take over very, very easily. So we're going to ignore that and just go for that capital. Oh, we have open borders. That's the Malinese. We're going to open borders with them. Oh, they're at war with the Dravidians already, which explains why the Dravidians have such a large army. That's fine. We can declare war on the Dravidians. Okay. We should be able to take this city out without too many issues. And we're going to pop our archer. Actually, we're going to just leave the archer where he is, just fortify him. Should be able to take them out. Okay, let's attack with the ram first. Okay, what's the odds of our swordsman? Not very high. Okay, in that case, we will just go after their other cities, I think. And we'll leave the ram there, because that'll pull some defenders out of their city. No, they don't want to go for it. Okay. Well, we'll just knock down this small... And that's 61 gold, and we got the secrets of mining, which is pretty decent. Okay, so now we can put our tech back up. So we get horse riding in 6 turns, which is fine. Got a cottage built, let's build another one. Let's grab some more city raider, since that's useful stuff. And just fortify on this hill. Barbarians might have decided to attack us, they didn't, which is also fine. We're going to grab a barracks, because we're probably going to go despotism soon, and it will give us some extra happiness, which is good. So the city can get a little larger. If we go, say, barracks, well, walls, we could go up to size 7. Still not many great spots for a city. If we were thinking about where we're going to build them, we could probably put one there, maybe one there, and we could maybe pop a city up there, but no fresh water is going to hurt. We can't build it in the desert, we can't get fresh water any other way, so we could build it there, or maybe up here. If we build it here, it's going to be a bit weak on food, although these cities are going to be fairly weak on food as well. But if we stretch this way, we might be able to take the Dravidians' lands, which I'd be fine with. We get an extra coastal city, we get access to copper. Again, food's going to be very scarce, but once we get agriculture, we can sort of spread it down there from Paris. So it's not the end of the world. Or we get the more advanced agricultural techs. It's probably what I want to do, is start expanding in that direction. I'll leave those markers there, but we might change our mind. How long have we got to wait? And also, do the Dravidians want to make peace? They will. We're going to refuse for now, because if we can get trading as a tech, they'll trade gold for peace, which is fine by us. Oh, and we hit the classical era. Okay, so that's going to be a nuisance. Let's go for trade, since we definitely want trade. You can't stand against that savage, so let's move you back a tile and just wait. Skip turn so I don't forget about you. So now we just need the barracks so that we can be happy again, thanks to the classical era being a nuisance. Let's move back into the Dravidian lands, see what they've built up. Just a large army, which is kind of a nuisance. Oh, if Ethiopia wasn't at war with them, you know. I don't feel like attacking that. I feel like that would just go badly. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to march north and attack the Ethiopians. I assume that's where Ethiopia is. Yeah, they're up here. So we're going to go and attack Ethiopia, because Ethiopia is sending more troops to go and fight them. Which means... oh, and there's a large army there. Okay. Do I want to fight both these nations? If we're choosing to expand in that direction, that's probably where we want to go. We'll just give you combat, since you're out on the borders. Yeah, let's fight Ethiopia as well. Ethiopia looks like they're getting a bit strong, so declare war on them and go for their capital over here. And we can swap to despotism. And do we want to go animism? I don't think so. Okay, so their capital's going to fall. Apparently we can't bombard it. Why can you not? Oh, this is the Malinese. This is Ethiopia. Well, that was a mistake. Whoopsie daisy. I thought that was Ethiopia. Oh, well, I guess we're going to be at war with the Ethiopians now as well. That's a pretty large mistake. My bad. Well, I'm sure we'll be fine. I'm sure we'll be fine. I don't know who they're at war with. But I suppose the other nations that are at war with us will be quite happy about that. Let's just declare war on Mali as well. Sure, why not? We're a conqueror. We can take the world on. We don't need to worry about these smaller nations. Smaller, weaker nations. And we discover secrets of philosophy. We will not install a new governor, we'll just burn to the ground. Okay, we captured a worker. We've got most of our troops are dead. That's fine. Back onto the stack. Grab double city raider and just shore up for a turn. Oh, they had slaves. They had slaves. Let's put our tech up. The Dravidians willing to make peace. They are, but we're going to wait till we get trade so they give us money. Tubadros, which is the Ethiopians, are willing to negotiate. And they were willing to negotiate. Okay, well apparently they're not willing to negotiate anymore. Let's try again. Okay, still not willing to negotiate. It's fine. Let's pop a cottage down on those citrus. I don't think we can attack Timbuktu as it stands. What's our odds? Yeah, they're not going to be good enough. We will go back to our lands and peace out these peoples. We'll grab combat, and we do have horseback riding, so we can grab horsemanship tradition. Right, you boys, return to our lands. Return to the borders here. I think we're gonna grab trade, peace out these two nations, try to get some money out of them. Oh. We'll leave the archer behind just to cover our retreat. And we're going to look a little weak for a second against the other nations, for just a second. Paris is going to grow to size 6. Can we get it any larger? We can't. Epidemic is still not a problem. Don't feel like going for any of these wonders exactly. So let's grab a bunch of cavalry. Can we build a stables? I don't think we can. That's fine. Grab a bunch of cav. And we're going to get trade fairly soon. Let's trade. Okay, so let's see what our tech diffusion's looking like with nations that we're no longer at war with, because, yep. Alphabet for 160%, that's pretty good. Let's grab that. Let's have a chat with... Ooh, let's grab the withdrawal chance. I always like withdrawal chance on cavalry. And we're going to put them on explore, because we would like to explore. For sure. Let's just skip a turn on you. You guys can move outside their borders. Dravidians, do you want peace? They'll give us some gold. Seems good. Malinese, do you want peace? They will accept. They won't give us any gold though, but that's fine. Ethiopia, you want peace? We give you some gold. Yeah, gold then. Okay. Diplomatic faux pas resolved. I'm just going to blame it on early age diplomatic errors. And we're going to build a bunch of cavalry. Carthaginians must be destroyed. Absolutely not. And we're going to build a bunch of cavalry to go out and scout. And let's see. After that, we're going to have to start building settlers. We have slowed down the Dravidians, which is nice, but it's not enough. Oh, I do want that copper. I want that copper really badly. No, I think we're going to have to go put a settlement down there. I think 2 archers, and yeah, that should be fine for now. Paris cannot grow anymore, so we're going to avoid unhappiness. And I could put them on a commerce focus, so they start growing up these cottages, which I do like the idea of. So I'm going to put Paris on a commerce focus. We can get traditional custom. That would allow our cavalry to pop out at level 2 if we had a stables. Actually, they'd just pop out at level 2 anyway, wouldn't they? Might be worth doing, but not right now because we don't get the extra religion. Early religion is really good. It is really good. Are we going to... That's the thing, we've got to think about our resources. We don't get any issues by adopting Judaism, so... Let's go for it, I guess. Might work out. It looks like the barbarians are starting to calm down a little bit. Oh, we found the Koreans. Korea's Taoist and they don't want to open borders. Pyramids got built somewhere else, that's fine. This worker can join up with my other worker. Because we have pastoral nomadism, our workers are a little bit on the slow side. Which is fine. Oh no, one of my cav got killed. It's fine. And we found Judaism. Nice. Okay, let's start the incantations. Let's grab philosophy. We have a Jewish missionary. We're going to stop training cavalry. We are going to grow again. Up to size 7. And we're going to avoid unhappiness again. Okay. Right, so we're going to get a couple of archers, and we're going to grab a settler, and we might grab another city over here as well. Ships are not going to be very important for us, so I'm not too bothered about. My strength 5 cav was defeated by strength 3 barbarian cav. Well, that just feels bad. I can't remember if barb cav have a bonus versus cavalry, but I don't think they do. Pacifism, we definitely do not want. Priesthood would be nice. We can build Jewish temples then, get our happiness up even further. Mining would be nice because it gives, well, it gives our mines extra production. Not that we have any, but let's just grab priesthood. And let's drop you over there and get the missionary with you as well. That'll give the city some early culture. Attack versus, they do have bonus attack versus charge mounted. That's a nuisance. You can just finish them off, I guess. Okay. I wouldn't mind getting some mines going if we do pick up mining, so we are protecting that tile. I wouldn't mind building a city down here either. It's a bit closer to home, but I'd like to contest the Dravidians first. I think we're going to go on a bit of a settler rush because we do need to get more cities out sooner rather than later. And let's start building a mine. Okay, let's pop you over there. And we're probably also going to start... let's get 2 settlers out. 2 sets of settlers. And then we need to build another army again to go and attack the Dravidians. Otherwise they'll come out and attack us, and I'd rather they didn't do that, so... civil religion. Do we want civil religion? Yes, we do want civil religion. Do we want traditional custom? No, I think we'll stick with rule of fair. Do we want republic? No, we don't. Let's stick with despotism. Right, let's grab mining. It's going alright. We're middle of the charts right now. Oh no, Spain's closing our borders because we're Jewish and they're Hindu. Damn it. There is no way we're going to be able to repair our relations with some of these civs. And some of the civs are just constantly going to war with each other. I wouldn't mind sending a missionary over to America, actually. I reckon America would make for a good long-term ally and keep our western borders safe. Oh, okay, and the Arabians don't want to open borders anymore because they've gone Buddhist. Oh no, the religious wars are going to begin. Oh no. Do we want slavery? I don't think so. I don't think so. Right. Ooh, we are going to get bronze. Bronze is brilliant. Let's get weaponsmithing. We can start training axemen with our new city over here. Which means we want these workers, when they're finished building that mine, they need to path up. Okay, let's pop you there. Workers need to run over this way. Pop a city down. Marseille. First build in Marseille is going to be walls. And we're going to have you on a total production focus. And you can pop down Judaism. Marseille's connected, which is good. Oh, we can build roads now, can't we? Yeah, we're going to want to build roads. Might have to pop a couple more workers, but I think first we want more swordsmen to keep the Dravidians off our back. Crusade against the Ethiopians. Well, technically I've already declared war on the Ethiopians, but I'm not going to again. That was a mistake. I'd rather avoid that if I can help it. Judaism has died out in Marseille. Doubt their beliefs upon hearing news of Zoroastrianism. Well, that's a pain in the arse. Let's get rid of those barbs. Road up. Actually, I want one of these workers to come back and road up here so we can get faster movement between the cities. Then you can move back there. Okay, we're going to have to start reducing our tech again. Probably we want to start making some money. Open borders, sounds like a deal. Perfect. We'll just attack. Move you back for a turn. Alexandria got captured by the Ethiopians. Ooh, Ethiopians, Spain, America, all very, very powerful civs. If I can convert America, we have a very powerful ally on our side, which would probably is on my list of things to do. Yeah, let's give them City Raider. Move over to the border. There is a mounted savage there. Hop onto that hill. You can come back in the borders. Sit on the top of the worker. You've built the road up, which means I want to get another road running this way. Get you to road up there. You can take City Raider and pop over there. Weaponsmithing, perfect. So now we can get bronze weapons. What do we need to get? Jewish missionaries. We need. Well, we're going to need meditation for a start. And what else does Jewish missionaries require? Do they require? I can't remember what they require actually. Let's take a look at Judaism. Dynasticism. Okay, we need dynasticism, which is probably a tech we were going to focus on getting anyway. Dynasticism being very good, very good. Just over here. Do we want to go for it earlier? I don't think so. Do we care about going for politics? Probably not right now either. Tolls and taxes would be nice. Some of these earlier techs that we've got a lot of tech diffusion on could be good too. Sculpture does give us access to monuments, which do give us extra happiness, so I think we'll pick up sculpture. Let's drop a city down, Nantes, which is unhealthy immediately, so we're going to, first thing is build a public well, followed by walls, because we need walls. But yeah, we need to build our military up so we don't look weak. If we look weak, people declare war on us, and I'd rather not get decked on. Right this moment, let's get another road up. Now, the reason I'm building roads is not to Ferdinand Foch or Foch. I don't really know how you say his name. Right, move over to that hill. What do we want? Famous archers, skirmisher warriors, or a great general? Huh. I think I like. Yeah, I don't really make use of the archers. Skirmisher Warriors works on all your recon units, and recon units never obsolete really, so let's keep you exploring. So we've explored a decent amount of the map right now. Let's actually take a moment to sit back and take a look at the map. Also so I can have a tea break. Let's see, so here we are in the south here. We've got the Koreans up over here that haven't expanded too much. We've got a string of barbarian cities all the way across. So the northeast is basically just full of barbarians. That's like barbarian land. We just stay very far away from there. We've got the Dravidians over here that have popped Zoroastrianism, or at least, yes they have actually. That is something I would like to get rid of, especially since I've got civil religion on my borders. America's here. Would love to get some. Egypt's been beating on England, and Ethiopia's been beating on Egypt, so that's sort of the sort of try goings on there. Scandinavia's been expanding down this way and is at war, presumably, or will be at war with not necessarily Carthage. Carthage doesn't seem to be doing too well for itself, but certainly be at war with the Americans. I would love to convert America and then get them to join our great alliance block, I suppose. We're going to need to drop our tech some more as well. Losing Judaism in Marseille was a real pain in the arse, because now it's not getting any culture. It feels real bad. We don't actually need any culture in Nantes, so if I build another city up here, I won't need the culture down here. So probably just do we need the culture up here though? Do I want to go for a city over here instead? It's probably worth grabbing those resources now rather than later. We could build some farms due to this oasis here and the oasis here. So they'd be able to build a farm there. We've already got pastoral nomadism. It's probably worth taking this spot before the ones over here. Got like double archer, another settler. And then we'd really need to hunker down and sort our economy out, because it's going to look atrocious after getting that city down. That's fine though. I think that's probably a good idea to go for that. And since we do have gold, it's probably also worth grabbing aesthetics for jewelers, which does require literature, and literature is pretty nice too. If we can build libraries now. We're also going to want tolls and taxes. Maybe tolls and taxes first. Well, the taverns aren't going to be so useful. Settlements will be, actually. And we will want... I think we go tolls and taxes. I think we want to go civil engineering after that, because that does allow us to build paved roads and bridges, which we will actually have. And it also enables tax officers. With politics, and that is something we want, and we will more or less have all the text for it. We'll get metal casting on the way, so maybe we go civil engineering, meditation, aesthetics, ironworking, currency, dynasticism. Seems fine. Could go compass after that. Get harbours. Drama as well. Go drama compass. Do we need shipbuilding? Not very much. We don't really have a coastline to build ships on. So we go drama compass, and then it depends if we get iron. I suppose that's the big thing. If we get iron, we have a bit more of a powerful military. Okay, so attempt number 2 is actually going alright. It's still early in the day, so I've got plenty of time to continue. But I am going to take a quick tea break, so I'll probably make a stop in the video here for later on. And for those of you that are watching on Twitch, thanks for coming to check out the channel and the game, and I'm sure more of you will show up later on. People have been asking for Realism Invictus. I know I posted the video saying I was playing it live a little late, but yeah, we'll see. Anyway, I'm going to grab a cup of tea and I'll be right back after that. There we go. There's some more tea. Perfect. And yeah, when I get down to editing these videos down for everybody, I'll edit that out, so you don't have to worry about it. For those of you on Twitch, thanks for sticking around. Okay, so let's think about this. Let's have a moment to reflect on attempt number 2, because I've played enough Civ to know when the game is unwinnable. If at any point it looks unwinnable, I will just restart. So, the big powers are, we have Ethiopia, which is currently locked in a war with Egypt. Egypt could potentially come out on top there. I'm surprised Egypt is losing, actually, because they have strength 4 woodworking troops, and their land looks absolutely dank. In fact, I fully expect that Egypt simply got sneak attacked when they were dealing with England. So I think Egypt will probably come out just fine there. America doesn't have a religion. That is a big thing. If I can flip America to Judaism, we have a very real chance at this game. Scandinavia's the 4th power, but I think they're going to be constantly locked in wars with America for the most part, or Carthage, which it looks like they are actually fighting Carthage. So that's fine. And then Spain, which we don't actually know where Spain is, which I would assume it makes Spain somewhere up here. Now, that's a problem, because it means Spain is isolated and has a lot of chance to expand, especially since all this jungle land around here is just barbarians. So if Spain is up in this right-hand corner, they might just have a really easy time in the game. Now, we have seen a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There are no more civs on the map. And if that's where Spain is, Spain might run away with the game. They founded probably the earliest religion in the game, which gives them a large population advantage because of their religious happiness. It's going to give them a cultural advantage in regards to getting their city borders up. They're not going to have to deal with civic costs as much, or city maintenance costs as much, because it's on Emperor difficulty. And that could make the game really problematic, especially since some of the earliest civilizations that converted to Hinduism were on their borders. Mind you, the Malinese now have swapped to Taoism, and if a combined alliance of Korea and the Malinese can deal with Spain, that would be fine. However, I did kind of burn down the Malinese capital a little bit, just a little bit, which might not have helped the situation, but it did help my coffers and allowed us to get some more tech, so I can't really complain too much. Because that is probably my main thing I would say about early warfare in Realism Invictus. You don't do it to take land, you do it to take gold. You plunder their coffers to fund your research, because it will no doubt be quite abysmal as you build more cities. It can also just... If you ever get to the point where you're on 0% tech and you're having to destroy other people's cities to keep your economy afloat, you should probably restart, because you've gone a bit too hard. Unless it's something that can be remedied very, very quickly. But in our case, we were just raiding just to get some extra tech. And also, keep our nearest rival neighbours in check whilst we expand. Which is why I usually refer to early wars in Realism Invictus. Not, like, sometimes, very occasionally, you'll have an early war where occasionally you'll have an early war where it will be based on they have their capitals very close to yours, and it's a good spot, and you can take it, and then that'll be your second city. Fair enough. That's a war of expansion, but most early wars tend to be wars of containment. You want to contain your neighbours and give yourself a military and science advantage by doing so. Anyway, let's continue with the game. Right, we're avoiding growth for the time being. Some barbarians near Nantes. Nantes is going to need a very strong border defense. Possibly when we get copper, that will be more realistic. Build that up there. We're going to protect this mine because it's actually fueling the capital before we protect Nantes' borders, because Nantes will be fine for now with double archer defense. Should be. Should be being the key word. We're going to pop a cottage down just because. Yeah, okay, they managed to hold it just fine. And we're going to give them straight city garrison, not pacification. I may want to move them around. Okay, let's get some archers ready to build another city. And I think we're going to go up here. I think. That seems like a good idea. And we can sort out our economy afterwards, because we're probably going to have to. Maybe get another worker. And we're probably going to have to go and raid the Dravidians again. Or the... yeah. In fact, we should probably think about raiding the Dravidians right now. Whilst we're... cancel our deals with the Norse. No, Carthage, you're much more likely to get kicked out of this game than the Scandinavians are. Do we want a settler? That's a good question. Maybe a library would be better. That's where most of our tech is coming out of the capital right now. Let's grab a library for now, and let's move on in and just burn down another Dravidian city. And here we go. Oh crap, that city's got defenders. Or is that workers? We'll have to find out. We'll have to find out. That is actual defenders. What's our odds? Pretty good, actually. I think we just go for it. Okay, we lost the first attack. Let's see if we can win any others. Okay, we got a victory there. The rest seem pretty bad. Yeah, okay. Well, we're probably going to have to just call it quits there. The Egyptians are a threat to us all? No, they're not. I'm sorry, man. They are most certainly not a threat to me anyway. Let's go see if Vijayanagara is as equally well defended. If not, then we might be able to just pinch a victory there. It is not. It has 3 defenders and a ship. Start knocking those defences down. I doubt we're going to be able to take it, but you never know. We're not going to cancel our deals with the Egyptian. Paris could build a monument. And put you back on scout. And knock the walls down again. What's our odds? Yeah, really bad. That's a very powerful city defender they've got there. Might have to just try and peace out. Tell you what we can do though, we can come burn this farm down. I wouldn't mind having a skirmisher in the army for recon aid. Let's plunder that. The Dravidians want peace. Yeah, I'll give us some money. It's fine. Actually, let's move as many men as we can into our borders to save some more gold. Okay, we're going to build up a large stack, and I think we're going to wipe the Dravidians out. Let's grab a couple of horsemen, and then a bunch of swordsmen. And we'll probably want... an extra ram wouldn't hurt either. Actually, do we want... I don't know if I care about... No, let's just build rams and swordsmen. We'll get like 3 stacks, I think. Is 1 ram enough to get CJ'd? It's not. They need a 2nd ram in the stack. Okay, so we're going to build 2 more rams and a bunch more swordsmen. So we'll have 2 stacks of double ram and 8 swordsmen. I think that's probably good enough. And Paris should be able to grow again. Yeah, it can. So let's turn it off the unhappiness reduction and put it back on growth, or halt growth. Now this is going to bleed our economy again, which seems to be a recurring theme, which is fine. But we might be able to get rid of the Dravidians, and that makes me happy. So, enemies been spotted near Nantes, which we can more or less ignore for the most part. Oh, those are primitives. We definitely cannot ignore them. Let's pop down here and just start building a cottage or something. Okay, Nantes defenders are fine. Nantes, yeah, they just don't have any health whatsoever. Probably gonna have to build a smokehouse after that before the walls. Otherwise, they're just not gonna be able to grow. We don't really need to connect that up since we have sheep in the capital. So we're actually just gonna go and try and build the deer. There is a savage archer there, so we're probably going to have to pull back into the city. And the Arabians are the most advanced, so that's good to know. I wouldn't mind getting a mine up in Marseille. It seems like a good idea. And get that storyteller circle for that culture generation that they're going to need. We'll pop tolls and taxes, and then we're going to ditch our tech down to 0 so we can make some money. And we're starting to grab metal casting. That's not necessarily what we want. Let's think about what would be better. Oh, toll house for an extra 4 coin is really nice. Okay, let's see what techs we could grab instead. I know I sort of planned out my tech, that was just me thinking about what we might need. How much do we like metal casting? We do like metal casting, indeed. Polytheism doesn't help at all. Dualism doesn't help. Could just go for an early ironworking, to be honest. I think discovering where iron is will inform our gameplay a hell of a lot, since we get a lot of powerful troops at ironworking. I haven't actually finished building the army up, so I should focus on that. Let's go and pop these archers up on that spot where we're going to build our city. So Nantes is going to become unhealthy when it grows. That's fine. We don't need to worry too much about that. We could start chopping this forest, I suppose. Uppsala has been captured by the Carthaginians. That's good, that is. You can build that for a turn. Pass. And move up onto here. Build those deer up again. The barbarians are going to start getting stronger, which is worrisome. But not just yet. We've still got some time before that becomes a real threat. So we've got 8 swordsmen here already, so we need another 2. Let's get the toll house finished and then finish off those swordsmen. Should be enough to take at least 1 city from the Dravidians. And we got great profit. Wow, okay, that's perfect. I don't know how we got great profit, but I will take it. Yes, Temple Solomon, definitely. Let's go for Temple Solomon. And we can boost our tech right up and just pop metalworking as quickly as possible. And we've got savages over here, so we're going to have to pull the worker back. And let's grab a settler after that, since we did just get the Temple of Solomon, so our income's going to be quite good. Norse must be punished, not yet. I don't know if I actually think you're going to win or the other nation's going to win. We do need to get rid of these barbs, so one can take out the savage. Can you take out them? We'll just use the spearman to do it. You can come down here and build that cottage up another turn, and you can get City Raider, move over. Judaism spread, perfect. We're going to have you sit on there and protect the sheep from barbarians. I think I want Nantes on a production focus for now. Okay, almost ready to go. We will need more defenders on this border, but we'll worry about that a little bit later. Okay, and we did just fine protecting that. Okay, let's march out on the Dravidians again. We want to knock down the holy city for Zoroastrianism if we can. Raicha, because that will help solidify our religious control over this part of the map. Let's declare war on the Dravidians again. And we will dump our tech for now. Western short sword was destroyed by their skirmishers. That's fine. And defense of Raicha is not particularly exciting. They do have a footman here, which is kind of annoying because he's in the way. Okay, we can just move on to the tile now. Okay, let's batter those walls down. Batter the walls down. And we should be able to just mass attack the city now. They do have a skirmisher in there. Oh, we left some of our swordsmen behind. Shit. Well, let's start bringing them up. Should be able to take the city with this. Yeah, there you go. And burn that to the ground. And they should be suing for peace right about now. Yeah, they're willing to negotiate. Well, unfortunately for you, we are not willing to negotiate. We are going to clean our borders up, and then we're going to send our warband further eastward and deal with the Malinese as well, I think. I think that sounds like a good plan to me. I'm sure they won't be happy to hear about it, but we're certainly game for that. I mean, sure, take a fishing docks, why not? Makes the tiles a little bit more useful. Start battering down Vijayanagara's defense. They've got 2 ships there. One of our swordsmen was beaten by one of their don't like that horseman being there. Worries me slightly. They do have a skirmisher in the city, so we do need to be careful about that, but I'm not too worried about it. And we will use the rams to start the assault, just to try and deal some HP damage. Okay, let's get a storyteller circle up in Rouen, or I don't know how you say that in a French way. Let's get some public well first, and we'll boost our tech up since apparently we can do that. Let's get a forge and a. I don't know if we want a caravan house. I think the capital wants to just build some workers. Let's get rid of these barbarian cavalry. We'll probably put you on the gold now. Okay, Vijayanagar. The Rams actually give siege aid, which does give us a bonus first strike and city attack. So, yeah, let's not soften them up with the Rams. Soften them up with this force. No kills whatsoever. And there we go. Burn to the ground. And there goes the Dravidians. Right, 1 civ down. A couple more civs to go. Couple more. Okay, let's get our boys, let's give them land tactics, because that enables some more useful tech sort of things we can do with that. Getting back to our borders, fort up. We will want to start expanding into the Dravidian lands. America's started to expand this way, but there's not a huge deal that we care about in that direction, so we'll leave America to expand that way. That's fine. We can boost our tech right up now, which is really exciting. We want to start roading towards this copper. Now, because Judaism sort of died in Marseille, we haven't had the tech boost that we quite wanted, but that's fine. So get a road here so we can access Deer in all of our other cities. Got a forge up in the capital, so we've got really mad production in the capital now. But we need workers. Oh, we've got spies operating near our cities, and that looks like it was a Korean spy. Okay. We're going to build a couple of workers, and then another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I could stick a horseman in both the armies, actually, so I think that's what we're going to do. That'll help deal with skirmishes, since skirmishes are becoming more prevalent in warfare, now that civs are starting to get up to that sort of tech level. Nantes has grown up to its max size, so we're going to just hold it off growth for now. Right, this worker's going to start building a road. He's going to build it through the pastures, and then up to that oasis, and then he'll build up on that oasis to give Arun some more production. Let's grab a carpenter here, just to increase our production just a little bit more, and we'll see if we can spot some iron with iron working. Alright, let's grab a carpenter over in Nantes as well. And what would Nantes like after that? Probably a granary. We don't have any resources that give health from the granary, which is kind of a problem. We don't really have any other health boosts. Its health is fine for now. How's the epidemic chance? Not fantastic. Oh, the Jewish synagogue gives health from cattle. Well, there you go then. That's the health issue sorted. It doesn't sort the epidemic problem, but I guess you could build a weaver's shop, since that will provide some extra commerce with the sheep there, and the extra commerce can filter into lots of bonuses from that gold. It's good. Oh, I'm working. Okay. Right, drama. That will give us access to theatres, which means we can start building our cultural borders up more, which is fantastic. Judaism died out in Nantes, which beliefs of solar cult. Somebody's going to go solar cult. Probably Spain discovered that, I would assume, which is a bit of a nuisance. So we've got iron on the borders of Korea. We've got iron on the borders of America. We've got lots of iron actually, so we might be able to buy some iron from them. And we have iron over here. Okay, so let's start dissecting the Dravidian lands into more cities. That looks like a fine spot since it gets access to the marble, but marble's a bit marginal at this stage of the game. I think we'll rebuild the Dravidian capital there, since we have knowledge of these new resources. I think we'll pop another city. Could pop it on the coast, so I want to get access to that iron and work it. Could probably build another city over here by that river, and then we could just leave Timbuktu where it is. I think this is sort of where our medieval empire is going to look like. But our economy is actually quite strong, which surprises me. Cancel deals with Carthaginians. Carthage is actually making a comeback, so I'm going to say no to that. At least it looked like they were making a comeback. They did manage to capture a city. Well, Nantes converted back to Judaism, which is good. This worker I also want to move up this way to help build up Iran as quickly as possible. Theatre of Dionysus might be something that we want to build. Spain demands tribute. Go on then. Go on, I will accept that. How's the happiness? Okay, it can't grow, that's fine. I'm going to build a lot of swordsmen. I'm going going to have to bump the... Yeah, as we build more and more swordsmen, it's going to cause a lot more, not issues, but... well, I mean, we are going to get a couple of issues with gold. Gold is going to be a bit more of a problem again. I think we're going to boost it, just to get drama finished nice and quickly. Paris is still set on a commerce focus. Yeah, still set to a commerce focus, which is excellent. It's building up these cottages very nicely. We can adjust the culture rate, which is very nice. Yeah, I think we want to go for urban planning. Do we want code of laws? We do want code of laws. Do we want it right now? We'll get urban planning and see where that leads us in terms of tech diffusion. Still need to worry about tech diffusion as a nice way of scoring some techs very cheaply. I could always chop that forest down. I'd like to be able to spread irrigation around these areas, but for now we'll just carry on building that road. And there shouldn't be any barbarians pop up. Well, saying that, it's not totally unlikely that we get some barbarians spawn in that sort of area now that we've smashed down the Alright, you can build up that settlement. No, those barbarians just don't want to attack us. That's fine. Oh, I double attacked there just in case, but it seems like it went just fine. You can build up a theatre. Marseille can build up a theatre. And Rouen can build up a theatre. We'll get Storyteller Circle first, since it does actually provide some technology as well. I'm just going to carry on building our army up to deal with the Milanese. Alright, playing Judaism spread to New York! Yes, care to assist us in destroying the Milanese? Well, yes I would actually. Yeah, go on, let's get a small sword. Civil service. Perfect. Do we want to swap to civil service? We could do. Although I do like the rule of fear. Rule of fear is very good. I think we'll stick with rule of fear for now. Next tech on the list. Let's grab meditation. That'll enable us to build monasteries, which is very good. Just get rid of those barbs there. And let's start marching the army northward up to Mali, which means we're going to have to dump our tech. I am going to put 20% into culture though, and that's because that is my magic number for the amount of points you want spent into culture. Lots of the buildings require you to have 10% culture. 20% culture I think affects all buildings in the game. 25% maybe. Can't remember if you need 25% or otherwise. Is America willing to trade resources with us? You spare wheat? Nice. That's pretty good actually. Can I give America a resource? No, because they already have access to everything I've got access to. Go Jong's declared war on me. Okay. Well, that makes things a little bit more awkward. Okay, and we've started to get the higher strength barbarians as well now. Okie dokie. So, how do we deal with this? Firstly, this army is going to have to redirect up to where Gojong is. I don't actually see a Korean army, but we're going to have to start moving up there anyway. And these guys are going to have to reassemble over here. Oh, I didn't want to put the rams in the city. Back there. Right. Right. We can get another great profit, that's nice. Okay. That is actually a problem. I'm going to build a couple more bowmen. And a settler. I know it looks like our economy cannot support it, but we have a lot of troops out in the field right now, and they will be recouping their costs as they, well, burn down some people's civilizations. So that's a plus. You can just heal up for a second. Marseille, your borders will expand very shortly, so I want you to build a Let's get Paris to build 2 workboats actually, because it'll be a lot faster, and Marseille needs to do other things like build granaries. So looks like we might lose our hunters camp there, which is a bit of a shame. Let's build a college. Oh, I could attack them with the archers, but that doesn't seem like a good idea, so probably going to lose the hunters camp. Yeah, we're going to lose the hunters camp, which is a massive pain in the arse. Deal with those barbs. It's actually a very powerful fighter there, so it's quite nice. These guys heal up. This army is going to move to the Korean border. They do have a small force there. Okay, you can move to the fish. Pop up there. So just detag that. Great Prophet is about to pop in Paris. There we go, got another Great Prophet. We could bulb Dualism, which is a total waste. We could pop him down in Paris to give us some more money, which is really good. We could start a Golden Age. If I start a Golden Age, what am I doing with it? Maybe swapping to civil service and slavery, that's about it. I think I'd rather just pop him down in Paris for now. That's his best use of his time. And let's move you over here to get that road connected. And have you guys stationed on the border. We've got access to fish and things now, so Marseille can actually grow. Put Marseille on a growth policy. They're going to want to build a granary. Don't necessarily need a theatre now, but they will need a fishing dock just to get that a little bit extra food out of the ocean. We've got Frankish bowmen, so pop there. And I guess I could start moving some of these militia out to guard our other borders, which is probably a better idea, because they're not doing much where they are. Let's move you to guard the copper, and we'll move you as well. We want 2 people guarding that. And I do want to keep this Nantes resources well protected, so I'm going to move 2 units down there. And Paris's immediate borders should be safe regardless. They have a very high level troop there. Let's just get rid of that barbarian archer, get some more experience on our guys. Sundiata Keita, is that no, that's not Korea, that might be the Malinese. Peace treaty and they'll give us some money. I'll accept that. So we just went to war with them and nothing happened and they paid us to not be at war with them. Which suits me just fine. Let's pop our tech back up to 30%. So that's pretty good actually. It's pretty good. So let's get these guys healed up. Start protecting the borders. Nantes. Nantes actually got some. It's going to be a small city in the long term, but in the short term, it's actually going to be one of our more productive ones. So I think we'll grab a forge and then a granary to follow that. Our capital, probably going to pick up a city square to help pop more of those great profits. Gojong's willing to negotiate. Do I want to curb Korea a little bit? I think I do, actually. I think I do. So we will stay at war with Korea for just the short term. What do we want over in Marseille? They do need more food. I guess we could build Potter's Workshop. I guess is fine. It's not very exciting. What's their health like? Because they haven't got access to fresh water. Health is fine. Right. Okay. We'll grab Potter's Workshop. I can't see what else I'll build here. So we'll just leave them as is. Where's our other army? It's on its way. Oh, it's still healing. Apparently. Oh, 1 turn. Just move over there. We'll get the show on the road. They have a single skirmisher, a bunch of swordsmen, and some spearmen. That's fine. Oh, fair enough. Could smash the Korean army. Seems reasonable. Or I could not. We could just lose all my troops. Well, okay then. I guess we're not taking out the Korean army, we're just going to have to recapture our city. Which we will be able to do because it's got 2 turns of unrest. That is a pain in the arse. I guess we're going to have to just peace out Korea then. And then build another army to fight them. Right. With that in mind, let's go grab armor crafting. Let's get theatre down. What other buildings did we lose? We lost our storyteller circle, which I'd rather build than a theatre. We'll get the carpenters up first. And we'll put ruin on a food focus so it can grow up a little bit more. Nantes lost Judaism again, because why ever would it not? Jewish monastery is definitely worth building. Right, these Frankish bowmen are going to have to move up here to protect ruin now. And we're going to have to... What is Korea going to ask or offer in a peace deal? Let's find out. I offer 50 gold. Oh, go on then. Piss off. Research is actually very good. I want to get access to that iron. God damn Ethiopians, man. God damn, not Ethiopians, Malinese. Keep getting the civs mixed up. God damn it. Right. Okay, Paris. Change plan. Change of plan. Can I get America to convert to Judaism? I don't think I can. Right. Move down to the borders here. Ruin's going to need walls badly, and probably some more troops to defend it, but we'll not worry about that just a second. We did manage to kill the Korean army, so they probably don't have a particularly strong force. Oh, there's a barbarian city up there. It's interesting. I'm going to need to get rid of this barbarian galley as well. Which we don't really have good troops to deal with. I'll get a couple of swordsmen to come up there and deal with that. And give them some experience. Code of laws. Okay, so we can start getting courthouses if we desire that. Okay, that army's full and ready to go. No, I'm not attacking the Arabians. I'm going to drop our tech a bit just to make sure we're making some money. Let's go see what the defenders of this city look like. Our fishing boats are getting destroyed, which does feel very bad. Hey, 3 savage archers, so we won't be able to beat it with just a few swordsmen. We're going to need more than that. I would rather get rid of those barbarians now rather than later. So let's keep pumping out those swordsmen. Let's move these guys down to there and have you sit on the copper. Abraham Lincoln created the Great Lighthouse and the Great Library. I don't think that those were both him, but somebody else got the Great Library. You're going to need a well as well, aren't you? You can build that before the walls. Yeah. Okay. We're doing alright. We are doing okay. What do I want these workers to do? I guess you could build some mines around Paris. Paris a bit more production. Right, so you can finish building that, then I do want you to build a monastery, because after armor crafting we will go for dynasticism, because I want to solidify our religious control, which is something we should be able to do without too many issues, because America should be easy enough to convert. I'm very scared to find out who's going to get Islam, who's going to found the Islamic faith, because that's going to cause some issues. Taoism spread in Marseille. Oh, come on! 20% chance on all my units and only one succeeded. Okay. Well, that's fine, because America was there as well. Right, but that has a bit of a problem. Oh, well, at least we got rid of the barbarians, I guess. We do need better troops, though. That's why I'm going for armor crafting. Because we do have access to... I don't even know what I want Marseille to build, to be honest. Do you need the epidemic reduction? It's possible. I could always just get them to build some ships, I guess, to deal with these. They're so slow at building things. I'm just going to try and boost their production. Paris, can you grow some more? You can grow quite a lot, actually. Start growing. You need more health if you want to take full advantage of that, but can't manage that, so you can build some ships. And then build a couple of workboats to go and sort that out, because that'll actually get your health back. Sure. Do you need a library? If anything, you need a little bit more health, which is another thing that you can't manage. Potter's workshop, then a library, I guess, and possibly even a toll house after that. Just gonna tech up a little bit higher. Okay, we're gonna need both ships to get rid of that nice and easily. Two of them, two of those. We'll get another city down. Gonna push the Malinese back. Oh, the barbarians built another city there, which is a nuisance. So the cult spread and ruin. That's irritating. We need to claim this land down here. It's very important we do that. I'm going to move these militia back up here to guard this border against that barbarian city that keeps popping up. And Ruins lost one of its defenders? I'm going to need a lot more defenders there anyway, so I'm going to mass train some Frankish bowmen. Okay, so we've got the mine built there, which is nice. Let's go build this copper up. We will have access to copper finally. Some more cottages. And I think we need to get rid of this Malinese city, so we can capture it for ourselves. We'll just move it all into one big stack for now. We've got a Great General. Did they knock down our stone quarry? They did knock down our stone quarry. Bastards. We don't need army prestige. Do we need famous archers? I don't think so. We're going to just leave them there for now. Pop you on the settlement there and you up on the stone. Right, you're going to come this way to help build up our new settlement. We don't want where Degen is, so let's Let's move this settler down that way as well. Right, Malinese, do you want peace? No. They will next turn. They will want peace next turn. Can guarantee that. And let's give them archery, since that's the thing they're going to struggle with most is archers. 3 archers is probably enough to guard ruin for now. Wow, Malinese still don't want peace. Okay. Well, that's fine. We've now got the city we want. Well, we want both ideally, but this will do for now. Put down there. Another Frankish bowman after that should be fine. Let's get some more cartridges up. Rene. Theatre is numero uno. Well, let's build a carpenter first and then a theatre. I know we don't have prime timber, but that'll be fine. Focus on the production side of things. Okay, now the Malinese are willing to make peace, which we will score peace for 10 turns. Move these guys into our borders, heal them up, and then we'll get another war with them. Don't like the Korean build-up over there. We need an army that's free to respond to that at a moment's notice. Uh-oh. Alright, we have copper. It's good. We don't want a courthouse. We are going to want... bronzesmith is probably a good idea. Probably a very good idea, actually. And this guy can move over to here. I'm going to go a bronzesmith, archer, settler, and then build our army up again to fight the Malinese back once more. Paris has got commerce for days. It's nice. I could put them on growth. Yeah, it's probably worth putting them on growth for just a few turns. They can't actually grow much larger because of pastoral nomadism isn't going to let them get any larger. Which is not necessarily an issue. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave them on commerce because it's taken them so long to grow it anyway. I'd rather they keep building up all these towns. Okay, so we've got both these workers here. Might as well pop some cottages down. Spies are being stumbled upon, which is fine. As long as they are being found, that's what matters. I don't think I need 2 archers defending Marseille anymore, so I can send one of these archers up to Rouen. Now that this is more or less under control. It's a much safer location now. Let's grab a toll house. Anything to improve our income is going to be helpful. Pop you to defend there. And then we're going to need just a bunch more soldiers, but we can start building Frankish warbands, which have bonus city attack. Western short sword was killed by a barbarian mounted unit. What a pain. Well, we're soon going to add a bunch of Frankish axemen, Frankish warbands to that force, and that'll be more than enough to handle. Let's put these guys in production. Let's get a well built. 4 archers should be able to hold ruin against most attacks, but their land will just get ruined if Korea goes to war with us again, which is fine. We can handle that. Let's get some walls up, and then follow that with a... let's get a smokehouse first. Okay, we're no longer at peace with St. Beata, which which is fine. Marseille might as well build a how much is the library going to help? Not very much. Let's build a courthouse. Okay, so we've got 3 ships now. There should be enough of a navy to deal with barbarians. Right, we are now teching for civil engineering, which is good. That'll enable us to build paved roads. I'm going to just drop our tech a bit, because we're going to build another city very shortly. Right there. So we're going to need to focus on our economy for a little bit. Maybe another courthouse is fine. Helps keep the maintenance levels down. Do we want to swap civics? I don't think so. Not right now. The unhappiness from other religions isn't affecting us too much. Alright, let's get you over there. Judaism spread in Nantes again. It's forever going to be spreading there. Okay, America took this city. That actually makes me feel a lot safer. Alright, Khan is going to build a theatre as numero uno thing it needs to do. Pop the tech up to 10%. Move these dudes over into Khan's border. Frankish warband. Attack. Go. Right. Defend. You boys, you're building a cottage. You don't need to build a cottage, you need to build a mine. You need to build a mine for iron. And then we can start training swordsmen, and we want to go for stirrups after that, so we can start getting our Carolingian OPOP troops. And we can start warpathing really hard. And just start knocking civs out of the game left, right, and centre. Because that is how you play Conqueror. You get a military technological advantage, and then you leverage it against everybody near you. And nobody should want to live near your borders because your civilization is horrible and keeps murdering them. That's the plan anyway. That is the plan. That guy's not a threat, so leave him to just throw himself against the city. Jewish monastery is probably not so useful. Let's get caravan house. Down here, I think you're going to want to pop a caravan house, but we probably won't finish it. We'll probably build something else if the game just gives me a moment. You are going to want fishing docks, would be nice. When's your borders going to expand? Fairly soon actually, so you can go fishing docks into a workboat. And we'll probably need some ships on this side as well, so build like 3 ships, so one can go explore as well. Now, I might go and get the Great General to go and lead that force now. I think leading a bunch of Frankish axemen seems like a good idea. I suppose you could road that. It's not super helpful actually, just move up to run. Library's not going to help that much. Toll House will help a little bit. At least it'll give us some more coin. Let's get a mine up for Khan. You're going to wait until the army's there. Fully built. 10 Frankish warbands will absolutely murder cities without even trying. They get a bonus 25% city attack, and then with Raider puts them up to... Oh no! Oh no, our first epidemic in Paris. That's not good. Oh wow! Frankish swordsmen get an extra first strike? That's dang. Dude, that's sick. Well, we want warbands, so we're building warbands. Oh, these guys can all level up? Oh, we're not making very much money then. Oh, it's probably because we need the... Yeah, to keep our cities happy. I can level up a couple of them. I level up one of them. It's fine. Could lead the Frankish swordsman we've got. Okay. We'll give you withdrawal chance, so he has a chance to escape combat if things go really badly. I know I leveled everyone up soon, but I think that's because I want to start marching on the Milanese now. And we get a free worker out of it, so it's worth doing. And we kill the skirmisher, which is a pretty damn good result. Let's keep marching. Well, there's a city that we can destroy, so that's good. And it looks like they put all their defenders there in the nearby area. So yeah, let's use the swordsman to soften it up. Oh. And then the axeman can go in and finish it off. And our general can just last blow, secret shipbuilding, burn it to the ground. Milanese, do you want peace? No. Yeah, sure, you can have some sheep. You can have some sheep if you really want. I still don't want to talk about peace, so I will just build up my army in that case. Our troops do have a long way to travel, so we need to get a more productive city on this side to start building troops up closer to their borders. But on the plus side, we can build up troops to deal with the Koreans, which I'm actually going to do now. I'm going to build a Frankish spearman and I think a Frankish swordsman as well to go sit in Rome to act as a bit of a stronger garrison, because I am worried that they might become a problem as the game progresses. And I think we're going to build a couple of Frankish cavalry in Nantes just because they can get over to the front lines a bit faster than most of our other troops. Alright, let's get that stone again so we can start getting actual roads. You can build a worker because we're going to need more of them. We are going to need more of them. Spearmen, I'm just going to give land tactics for now. Okay, it looks like most of the barbarians have been quelled for now. I can't see any other... Is that Spanish? That is the Spanish. Okay, so the Spanish are up here, as I thought they would be. 110 gold, they'll accept that. Oh, it's already got a fishing boat. Oh, well, I'll just delete you then. Portion of our state treasury was looted by infiltrators straight after we make a peace deal to get a load of money. Well, that's a pain in the arse, isn't it? Never mind. Sit in ruin. Prime timber, perfect. Need some of that. Help our ships out a lot. The capital. Let's build a caravan house since you're going to get a lot of trade value by being the capital city. Pop you over there. Cavalry, I'm going to give them a withdrawal chance. They'll help protect our lines against recon units as well, which is good. The Americans aren't so happy with us anymore. We're going to have to sort that out. We need dynasticism, so that they start treating us as their friend again. Because I'd very much like to stay friends with the Americans. Destroying the Arabians. No. Ah, the Turkish. Oh, well, I thought we'd met all the civs. Apparently not. Then again, revolutions are on, so that could be a revolution civ. That could indeed be a revolution civ. Oh, we have a pepper plantation. Oh, thank you, Dravidians, for giving us your almighty pepper plantations. Right, let's put you on scout for now. And then you workers, oh, ruins, become unhappy. So not do any more of that. Let's grab theatre. The walls will actually solve its unhappiness, but oh, requires masonry materials. Oh yeah, we need 2 sources of stone to build masonry materials. I forgot they made that change. That's fine. We do actually have plenty of sources of stone, so we can sort that out. Worker, not a huge deal for you to do. I suppose you can just build some more cottages, build some farms. I think it's probably worth building the farms here, just because I will be swapping from pastoral nomadism. Not necessarily soon, but I will be. Well, I will plan on swapping from it. So, right. So we're a couple of turns from invading Timbuktu. Certainly something we would like to do. What does Nantes need to do? Well, I guess just extra espionage is better than building craft goods. How much would you get from craft goods, actually? Nothing, basically. Let's build things that would level up troops, if I want to build troops from Nantes at some point. And we'll give you withdrawal and move you over to the main army. We boost our tech up, how fast can we get dynasticism? 10 turns, 11 turns, 12, 14, 15. Okay, we're going to try go for the 10 turn dynasticism. Probably won't be able to do it, but if we loot Timbuktu, there's a real chance that we can manage it, which should be really useful because we can start spreading Judaism to America, which is the goal. Oh, a portion of our state treasury was looted. Well, it looks like we won't be doing that then. Sure, we will grab a city square in Paris. Okay, we're still at peace with the Malinese for like maybe one more turn. I'm going to need to put some spies in some of my cities, by the looks of it. Okay, tech's getting dropped. Oh no. We have to drop our culture down, which is a pain. But we need the money. They're only losing 1 coin now, it's fine. Right, let's invade the Malinese again. They do actually have a decently sized army, but we should be able to beat them with the Frank Shaxman. Okay, lots of people are getting very annoyed at us for our warmongering, but they can just live with it, I guess. Let's grab local crafts because we need some monies. Smokehouse down. Unfortunately, it's the Spanish borders, so I'm not going to be able to make any progress that way. Alright, let's go. We discovered dualism and burned to the ground. And there is still Malinese cities somewhere, but not anywhere near us. Oh yes, I'd love to open borders with Arabia. So delete you. I only need 2 ships to protect my borders, not 20. And Sundiata's willing to peace out for gold, and I will accept that. I'm going to bump up our tech rate to try and get dynasticism soon. Let's grab City Square, library. Right. Nantes, I'm going to want you off of production focus. Can you grow? In theory, yes, but you don't really have any food resources to grow with. So, what we will be doing instead is popping you over to a commerce focus, so you can use some of these more commercial locations. That's the point of commerce, is commercial stuff. I'm going to build an archery range in Paris because it will be more useful. Library here is probably not the best thing they could be doing. Let's build a forge and a courthouse, and then probably it doesn't look like a toll house is going to help at all. Some of these defenders near Rouen are going to be sent down to Nantes because we don't necessarily need them there. We did have a couple of spearmen around here, but we've moved them since. Over here I'm going to want walls in Caen. And you want a production focus and, let's say, avoid unhappiness, but they're going to grow pretty big. Actually, let's put them more food focuses because they can get pretty swole pretty fast. Now, I think we're going to focus our attention on the Koreans. We are about to get dynasticism, and we will be building a crap ton of missionaries once we pop dynasticism. So let's go on to local crafts in Paris and drop that tech rate down. 4 turns for dynasticism is fine. Okie dokie. You guys can move over. Let's see. Pop up there, I guess. I'm gonna have to swap from pastoral soon. Oh wait, what are those Spanish troops? Iberian swordsmen. That's worrying. Right. Now, Spain's a lot bigger than Korea, though Korea is still pretty powerful. And Korea does dislike us a lot more than Spain does. But we do have a good garrison in Rouen. I think we're going to leave our army up here. For now. I guess it's going to have to be a cottage, isn't it? I could probably build a farm there as well. Alright. Okay, dynasticism in 1. Can we do it? We can do it. Okay. Alright, perfect. Perfect! Can now swap to a monarchy, which is basically just a better version of despotism, for the most part. Do we want to go to civil service? It's probably a good idea. Uh-oh. Abraham Lincoln declared war on us. You cheeky bastard. Well, in that case, I suppose we're fighting the Americans as well, then. This is not good. Not good. Oh, well, you're not going to be able to do anything to my city, I'm afraid. Just combat, pop them in the city. Oh, I'm sorry, America, but you're not going to be able to do very much to us there. Tolerate, cancel my deals with Spain. Do I want to encourage Spain to attack me? Probably not. Especially since it looks like, yeah, Spain's pretty strong. Pretty strong. And I thought that this might happen where Spain gets pretty unbelievably powerful. That's fine. Let's pop the archer out there. And another archer just to protect the workers. Alright, let's build some Frankish cavalry. The army. Unfortunately, we're starting to lose. Ah, willing to negotiate, are you? Aha, well that's unfortunate for you because we are not. Not after that show. We're certainly not willing to negotiate. Well, goodbye Springfield. What else can I say? No, we're not going to attack the Egyptians. Forge seems like a good idea. Could I just surprise take the city with the... No, I can't. With the cav. I'm offering gold. Oh, I think not. Right, build some spies. I'm fed up of fucking spies ruining all my shit. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just start building spies. I'm fed up with losing all my gold to spies. No, I'm gonna put you on trade network for now. They won't improve things that don't actively help us, but that's okay. I'm going to want to road this towards the marble because we might need that at some point. Probably not, but you never know. Oh, don't tell me we just lost our iron. Where's this barbarian coming from? Like, there's nowhere for the barbarians to really come from anymore. Everywhere has been claimed by civs. But I suppose the one barbarian that did decide to spawn decided to attack our iron mine, so there you go. At least we've got much better cavalry than them. Can we take Philadelphia? Possibly. Possibly. Alright, Korea, you better stay the hell away from us, because I am not interested in fighting you as well. Right, let's try and build our culture up in our border cities as well. I need to try and focus on doing that. I don't want to have border wars, or cultural border wars, with my neighbours. More Frankish cavalry, I think. Courthouse seems pretty good. Saves us a lot of money there. Philadelphia has a catapult, a bowman, 2 skirmisher horsemen, a Nordic spearman, and another bowman. So that's something we definitely can take. Let's see if America's willing to peace out now. Give us 100 gold. Accept. Right. And we got another great profit. Spy can go to Paris. Construct the Qumran. 1 happy per 20% science rate. Provides 5% science. Alright, let's build that. Don't see any reason not to. Okay. Let's go... I've got fucking crossbowmen now as well. It's not that I'm feeling a little behind, but I'm starting to feel like we are getting outpaced a bit. Right. rabbis. We don't have open borders with anybody now at this point. Everyone's closing their borders. Against the Carthaginians? No, not interested. I feel like the rest of the world might see us as a bit of a threat. Which is fair enough. We have been a little bit heavy on the warmongering, for sure. I'll build a road that way just in case we end up picking up that spot. It's not particularly useful at this stage of the game, that particular location, but might be relevant. Right, so where do we go from here? Curbing Spain or America, or just going eco? I don't think we get the option to go eco, do we? I don't think we get the option to focus on economy. I think we get butchered by every other nation if we try and do that. We do need to get that iron back. And I guess we'll take the arena. And 2 more spies. Okay, that's good. Barracks. Now, if I move my army to fight Spain, what's the capital of Islam is there? Then I leave myself open to America. If I go to fight America, Spain could always attack me. America looks like a bigger threat right now, but I've got my capital near there and some provinces with very high production. I think I moved my army over to Spain. I think we're going to have to fight Spain now. Right, how do we want to build a force down here? Battering rams. Might as well get the rest of our battering rams in play. Caravan house. I think we need a arena. Grab a Frankish spearman and a Frankish bowman. America declared war on us again. Oh dear. As soon as I move my army over to Spain. Oh man, that is a large army. Right. I suppose at least the battering rams can help slow them down. Right, what can we train immediately? Oh, short swords, I guess. Oh my god. What is this? Okie dokie. So, we're going to have a little bit of a problem. And that is, we have a giant American army right there. And, yeah. Well, I suppose the rams will help defend the city. I just have to pop everyone else in there. We upgrade these bowmen. We can. Drop our tech. Those spearmen aren't going to really do anything. Pop your city defense, move you over there. Probably won't even make it to the city before he gets killed by cavalry, but he will attempt to reach the the city in time. Once our army gets back, we can just go straight for Philly. Or Boston, work our way down. I think that's a good idea. Whilst the American army is in our lands, we need to send our army into theirs. Start knocking their cities down. That's basically our only out here. Get a kill on these cavalry here, seems reasonable. Try and whittle down the attacking force. Just give you normal combat. Battering the walls down, as you do. And we're going to run out of money very shortly. Very shortly. Let's drop our culture rating, which is going to cause both these cities to have a bit of an issue. You're going to have to move on to crafts. You're not going to move on to crafts. You need to move on to crafts. Okay. Rioting's broken out. Oh no. That's not good. Oh, now our army's left our borders. Is there anyone that's going to trade with us for some money? Potentially. I will literally give anything away for some gold right now. Who doesn't really hate us? Oh, the Turkish don't. Okay. Crab for 3 gold a turn. How's that? Cool. Egypt. They hate us. Don't have any money either. Let's ask some of the bigger nations. Ethiopia. You have 190 gold. Some of the small nations I might be able to bully some gold out of them. Okay, that'll do. Let's boost the culture back up to 10%. Yeah, Renee's having some separatism issues. Yes, that's exactly what we needed. Which hopefully the synagogue will help solve some of those problems. Otherwise, there's some epidemic reduction. I don't think that's going to do very much. Probably walls. I think walls will probably help. Right, which means you don't need to do local crafts just yet, but you will need to do them very soon. In fact, you could probably build a synagogue since that actually makes money. Increase trade value. We can't build any more troops. We don't have the economy to do so. So we just have to not build any more troops. A road built up there. Right, these guys are very close to Boston now. And he's not reducing our defences very quickly. It's not going to really help the crafts. Forge. And the city is well garrisoned at this point, so... And his army's going to have massive logistical issues. Aha, Boston. Aha. Caught you out there, Mr. America. Keep you city garrison and hold up. Nordic Spearmen and 2 Bowmen. Yeah, should be an easy win for us. Alright, let's keep our lands building arc. The Ethiopians declared war on us? I guess, sure, why not? Where are the Ethiopians? Who knows? 60% chance, 35%. Alright, we'll attack the cavalry first. Alright, 2 withdrew, they dealt some collateral damage. The general gets a kill, which is important. And I'll try to use some of the lesser experienced units. Give them some XP. Alright, Boston falls. We learn how to build ships. and we're going to do, let's do mathematics after that, and we'll burn that to the ground. That's the Ethiopian army. It's not actually that scary. Uh-oh. Oh, that's an Ethiopian army that suddenly appeared out of nowhere. And they killed a lot of our war band as well. We're not particularly interested in fighting them, so we're just going to go for Washington and see what kind of garrison they have and maybe scare them into piecing out. Wait, what? Oh, they've got like a bunch of hunters and things there. Okay, can we convince the Ethiopians to peace out? No, we can't. Can we convince America to peace out? I offer some money. Yeah, I think we're going to have to. Right, now I think we have to consider the game state. Stretch. Right, let's consider the game state. It's not looking sharp. It's not looking sharp. I think given that we're bordered by both America, if we could have converted America before they declared war on us, I think we had a chance in this game, but because they declared war on us, there's no way we repair that relation now. It's just going to be constant war with them. And because of that, we can't then focus our efforts on dealing with Spain. Because we can't focus our efforts on dealing with Spain, Spain's going to just keep getting more and more powerful, and eventually they'll wipe us out. So it'll either be America or Spain that just puts the nail in the coffin. We can still produce pretty powerful armies and cut their city sizes down, but it doesn't actually help us build our empire up at all. We're still going to have issues with money, and we don't really have any expansion options, which is fine. I'm not expecting expansion options right now, but because we're going to have a max army fielded at all times, we are not going to be able to do any research for the next like 200 turns. And there's already, even the nations below us are catching up in tech, and these nations up here, they're on, last I saw from Spain, they were teching commerce code. And I've seen people pick up craft guilds as a civic, so they're already well into the medieval period, and they'll soon hit the school tech boom somewhere around the sort of mid-medieval, late medieval. And we're not even into the medieval period yet. We still haven't even tech currency and things, like we're still far behind as far as tech goes. I think I'm going to have to call that. I think I'm going to have to call that as attempt number 2 as a failed run, which is fine. I expected that this would happen, but it's good to show off what sort of the game looks like as you move into the further stages. But yeah, just not exactly the kind of run that we needed. We had have got America just a little bit sooner as a religious ally. That could have made a big difference. Unfortunately, we are going to be standing alone, and that is not a good place to be on Emperor difficulty, Realism Invictus. So that is going to be run number 2. And I will... Oh, let's see. I do want to take a tea break. I'm going to need to get some food as well. I think I'm going to close the stream for a couple of hours whilst I get some food and have a tea break, and then I will be back. Let's see what the time is, because I did start early today, so I'm going to have like a lunch break. I'll be back around 4 or 5. Hopefully people don't show up in the meantime and then go, where is Chaff? I came here to watch Civ and he's not here. But I'll be back around 4 or 5 to play some more and see how we can do on attempt number 3. I'm going to be uploading all the attempts on YouTube anyway, so if you do miss some of the content, if you have to go, then that's fine. You can pick it up later on. Anyway, that'll be it for now, and I'll be back in a couple of hours to continue the runs and see how we do in the next one. Until then, guys, I'll see you in the next couple of hours.